user?
No, in services and support, this ALM you might be having. If you're not having, don't worry. I'll download it and I'll share it.
So when I access the P user, it's only limited has
Yes,
many.
yeah.
So
So crores of the members may be using, that is why public user. So that will help you to communicate in the community blog with limited content access. But this is one product owner. So I am supporting for that product owner. I'm implementing the product. So for that only they will provide you as user. And we will get free of access and free download things in S user credential. P user is limited and restricted. So if I want to do some knowledge search, I can search here. So I will get it easily, but you will not be able to search. So I'll search by the note, or if I wanted, for example, um, supplier integration, just supplier integration with S4. Okay, so if I search the keyword, I will get it by filter, whether you wanted community blog or note basis or SAP help document or any knowledge base article, or whether you wanted guided answer. So there is one term called guided answer. Okay, if I wanted to go for guided answer, I can go for the guided answer. Or if I want to go for help document, I can go for the help document. Okay, and if I want to refer some videos, I can refer. So this is something knowledge search where we explore and work. And this is new. So if you switch on this is something AI answer.
yes, it looks like it's really powerful tool
Yeah.
provided by SAP. Mhm.
Yeah. So what SAP will do? So it is always interesting every quarter. You can wait for their new updates. They'll come up with some new updates always. Okay. Um, Now let us see. Even there is one AI software which recently SAP purchased, Flyer Market. You can Google it, Flyer Market. That is AI software, American software company is acquired by SAP. They keep on acquiring all the softwares one side, on the other side, they wanted to stand in the top position. So you guys no need to forget about the future in SAP. So they will not let down in the market. They always grow and evolve, and opportunities will be there. So, from past 25, 30 years, more than 30 years, SAP ECC, that nobody replaced So it is replaced by SAP itself, that is HANA. The same way, nobody is going to replace Ariba. If it is replacing also, that will be replaced by SAP only. They will upgrade it, sourcing to guided sourcing. SIM in 2014, they were using supplier information management. And 17, they added 16 and all, they added SIPM. And 18, they added SLP. So like that, they will include. And 19 something, they added supplier risk. And 22, they changed it to guided sourcing. So they upgrade themselves. They'll not let other softwares to grow. Compete over. They will not allow to cross him. So they will be always try to stand on top. Let's see. So and also mostly every 1.5 hour or 1 hour 15 minutes, I will give some 10 minutes break. Okay. For example, we have 2.5 hour session. So I'll give you break 10 minutes, max to max 15 minutes, and I will cover it up. For example, our session is 7 to 9:30. So we cannot sit, everybody, you will not sit at one stretch, 2.5 hours. So I'll give you 10 minutes and I'll cover it up in the, um, I'll continue it. For example, 7 to 9:30. If we are taking 10 minutes break, I will stretch it till 9:40, 9:45. Okay. so that session will be effective for you guys. So that is small break that I used to take. I used to give you guys and continuing the session. So the recording will be on. So everything will be on, and everyone will be in the call only. Only thing I'll take a break. So give some refreshment, and we'll start it in 10 minutes. Okay,
Okay.
guys.
Great, guys. So I'll be pausing the recordings for a better viewing, guys.
Um, so I'll be back in 10 minutes. Then
Yes,
we can
please.
start our session from the supplier management.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah.
And you have something to ask, you can still ask. I'm here in the call.
Great then.
So
So guys, I think every one of you are alert right now. So we are starting resuming the session. Uh, Manoj sir, Sunil is there. Sunil has just now joined. So Sunil, I'll be sharing with you the other recordings and other prospects to you. So you please continue from there where we are starting now, resuming the session. If you have any queries, you can still ask in between. Okay, no worries.
Sure.
yeah. Yeah. Hi, Sunil. So you want to ask something?
No,
So
as of
this
now,
Or you
no.
want to say anything about you also is fine.
this is the roadmap which we have discussed till now. What we are going to
Okay.
learn. Okay, so Ariba Cloud and Ariba Network and SAP ERP integration and cloud integration, and I'm adding business technology platform, the basics. And this is also
Okay.
kind of one integration tool.
Mm.
So we are going to learn here nearly 5 modules. So sourcing, contract, supplier management, and buying and invoicing, plus supply chain collaboration and commerce automation and code automation. And other than that, ERP integration with CAG, that is one middleware, and BTP, both are SAP product. So we are not buying middleware from outside. So both are SAP product. So we'll see what is BTP, what is CAG and all. So here, why I'm choosing HANA? Because in the market, ECC, maybe it will going to shut down soon. So all the customers are moved to HANA. So the best thing, so we need to learn HANA. So ECC, let's. So that is the reason I'm always taking in HANA, not in ECC. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So now let's start. If there is no questions, so we'll start from the syllabus. From the point one by one, we will start it, and we'll go with the both backend and the front end, so that you'll get better understanding. Okay. So before that, so please do not take it like this is very hard to learn, or there is nothing here. We don't use codings, or we don't need to um, uh, uh, think more about this. This is simple thing like how Amazon works. So you can compare it. Amazon is B2C, Flipkart is B2C, industry buying, Alibaba, they are all B2C. They are providing their software to do a business. The same thing, Ariba developed their own software and they're providing it to customer to do their things. Only uh, um, main thing what you wanted to know is Amazon, these and all common for everyone where they can use it. They will have their account, but URL remains same. But Ariba, they will provide you one URL, one site for you. You can take it. Process almost remains same, and development how we are developing, so we are not going to do web development, or we are not going to do, so only one area we read XML message. So that too some basics you need to know, that's all. So you don't need to go with end-to-end XML message reading. Okay, so here everything we configure them like you're using mobile. When you purchase mobile, you configure your own settings, you configure your dashboard, so you configure that user interface. So how you wanted to use according to your style or your need or your comfort. The same thing we follow. So every So for example, if you purchase Android will have a standard uh, process, but you customize it on your need. The same way Ariba is also having a standard process. We customize it on our need. That is the thing we do here. Okay, only menu path. In the menu path, we change the configuration, enable or disable. Somewhere we develop, we add content and questions. Those things also we will see. Mm. Now, what are the area we are going to work? One is service.ariba.com. So this is for a business network. So you will have buyer account and supplier account, that is service.ariba.com. So this one, sourcing and procurement, you can see the realm. This is the practice system. This is sourcing realm. Okay, so if I talk about sourcing or upstream, this is the sourcing realm, where you can see this is sourcing and the real MID. You can see the real MID. This is the real MID. Yes. So this is for parent site. We call them parent site. This is parent site. Okay. And then downstream, we have a procurement realm, that is buying realm. So you just need to navigate the site. When you navigate this site, it will take you to the buying system. So this is buyer realm. This is child site. Okay, so you see realm is equal to, so why I'm highlighting this realm ID? When you integrate, that time you mention this site ID. So that is the reason I'm highlighting this realm ID. And this is for buyer. And we call them data centers. There are many data center. So like this is AU. So if I open my client system, I will get it EU or US. So it is, so that data center. So you don't need to dig more in that uh, realm. So s1.eu.ariba.com. So here s1.eu.ariba.com, and after that this is sourcing system, main page, login, and you will get the real ID. So as soon as you logged in, you will get your real ID. If you are not able to understand, please interrupt me. Do not hesitate to interrupt. So this is sourcing, main page, and realm equal to client system. Okay, and then guided buying, we have separate URL. Okay, so when I go to guided buying, one second. So for GB, we will have separate real that we will see. I think I don't have URL right now, so I'll share that URL. Okay. So guided buying, we will have separate URL, that is separate user interface. So upstream, and then downstream, and then guided buying, then service.ariba.com. Other than that, we will go for some different sites. For example, CAG. So CAG, you will not get hyperlink. That hyperlink will be within Ariba. So if you go to administration, in this administration, you will have some small managed gateway. This is CAG realm. When I open this, you will get integration.ariba.com. Okay, this is the real. So this is from my client system. If I go to our practice system, it will be same. If I go to manage admin or core admin, I'll get the guided by the sorry CAG menu path. So managed gateway for spend and network, and when you visit the site, this is the hyperlink provided. The same way you will get ICM hyperlink. So we will see what is ICM and all. So this is mostly site customization or enabling or disabling features. You will get it here. So when I click continue, I'll get separate URL. Okay, this is for ICM and this is for CAG. So you'll get it integration.ariba.com. Okay, https a1 aucloudariba.com professors CAG. If I go to my client CAG, everything is same. Okay, but you have to navigate from Ariba side. This is CAG where you work on the CAG. So this CAG you can see it is neat and clean. Only 19 projects in testing, 8 projects in production. Okay, and here 360 in progress, 123 in testing, 0 in prod. This is our practice system. Okay, so why I was telling that realm and all, if you go to this configuration, under this configuration cross reference, you will be able to see the realm ID. Okay, so this realm ID, whatever realm ID we have, this realm ID where it is coming from, this is the realm ID. Okay, so that is the thing I'm telling. So here what is realm? That cloud URL, the system what you are using is the realm. Okay, now I hope it is clear what is realm and what is this URL. And sourcing module, contract module, and supplier management module, where do you get it? So once you logged into the system, so here you will be able to see the brand company logo. When you click this company logo, you will be able to see the home page. This is dashboard, so you can configure this dashboard. Okay, so you will get default dashboard maintained by administrator. If you want to configure on your own, you can configure by clicking this settings and add content or remove content or rearrange the tab. You can enable it and disable it, whatever you wanted. You can if you want to correct it, you can change this dashboard home page. When you want to go to home page, you can always go to this logo, you will get the home page. So here you have option to search something whatever you wanted to search, and in the left side corner also you will get option to search the things. Okay, so you can filter it, this drop down, report, catalog, knowledge, project, sourcing request, whatever you wanted you can. If you want to click more, if you click this, you will get entire activity which you wanted to search. Category, procurement, report, contract, sourcing, and then invoicing, so procurement, so every data you will get it here. And then recent, whatever you have opened recently, you will be able to see from your user ID recent data. And then manage, this manages administration activity. So mostly end-to-end manage access will be given for administrator, the site administrator. Mostly 2 to 3% will have this admin access. I mean manage this entire site, which is administration, core administration. Administration is administering the upstream. Core administration is administering the downstream. That is child site. And SM administration is administering the supplier management module. And we have some library. Frequently used content will be stored. So buyer can store the data in sourcing library. Contract management, legal team can store the clauses in the clause library, and you will be able to see your to do, your task and all. And supplier data snapshot related to analytics. So everywhere you will be able to see analytics. Analytics is something report. So the data analytics. So you will be able to download the available data in this snapshot report. Other than that, Ariba is providing pre-packaged report also. Other than that, we have analytical report and compound report. So these things also we will see. And then Um, that's all here in manage activity. And create activity is the user function. So one supplier user or supplier manager, they'll create supplier request, or buyer will create supplier request. And sourcing agent or sourcing procurement team, they will create sourcing request, sourcing project. And operations team create the purchase requisition. So these are all the create activity. And that's all in the dashboard. Anybody have any question in this Ariba dashboard? So here I just wanted to add help option. So if you want to know some help, you can click this help. System will give some help, and this is AI based some help data. If you click this, how can you help? System will give you. If you want, if you want to get something, if you want to know, you can guide me. Navigation. This is navigation. Launch common tasks, and then personalize your experience. So whatever you wanted, you will be able to. You will get the navigation, step by step navigation. Okay. Mm, and after that, site navigation we have seen. This is ICM where you can customize the field language. Ariba supports nearly 18 languages right now. I mean, so for example, a person who is in China, they will always make their even the browsers or the email conversation, they use Chinese only. And all Middle East countries, they use their own language mostly, okay, to communicate. So for those countries, they have developed with the multiple languages. So in our practice system, we are using English. But if I show my client system, if I go to ICM, manage configurations, and continue, as I said, my client customers are using more than 80 countries, and still it is development and rollouts are going on. So if I go to the language settings, you see French, Portuguese, Spanish, Chinese, English, German. So probably next month we will be adding Japanese. Okay, so you can set it up the language based on the user default profile. They can view Ariba in their language. So right now Ariba is providing this many support on the languages, but default is English. Okay, and they can add their brand, I mean in this top logo. So adding this brand and all, it will be also in the ICM. So here they will have a branding where they can add up the brand logo, your company logo, where you can update here. And we have two types of themes, light theme and blue theme. Mm, After that, this authentication, whether you wanted single sign on, so those things also can be configured. So I hope it is clear about Ariba and Ariba Cloud. Anybody have any questions? So this is final thing, site navigation. And you will be, when you click this user profile, then you have option to change your password, secret question. If you are going for outside, so you wanted to delegate your authority, you can delegate your authority. You can change your profile because of this locale. For example, you are from China, then you can configure Chinese language. That is default locally. And notification preferences. And there is one more thing, Ariba. I mean, a couple of years before they have added mobile application. So if you go to Play Store or iOS, you will be able to install Ariba. Okay, but you need to get the access. Administrators should grant you to access Ariba application. That is activate mobile device. Okay. After that, you can change your dashboard preference. So if you want to change the sourcing user info, So this is your self configurations. And if I want to change the theme, light theme to blue theme, I can change it the theme settings. So it is purely you can configure on your own. And jump to navigation, you can menu path, jump to content where you want the work. So you will be able to see the jump to content and link. You will get a home page. And since this is test site, you will get in head test site. So this is test realm, test system, test site. We use all same meaning. So this is test site. Okay. Anybody have any questions to ask about this Ariba dashboard or the home page? What I
Uh,
have.
I have a question. Can you make a favorite menu tree or something? Favorite, hello? Mm, uh,
One second. I think there is some internet issue at his end.
yeah, I think
Yeah. Yes, Andy, you can add some of the things in your favorites, like how we used to do in the URL, right? So you can do that one as well. So anyways, we'll be getting the access by today or tomorrow, so you can explore the things. And I request every one of you to be, sorry, I request every one of you to go through the recordings multiple times. That is very important.
Is my voice audible, Andy?
yes, yes.
Sorry guys, my web browser have been closed automatically. Um,
Yes, yes.
Yes.
1 second, Manoj, I'll make you organizer.
so
Yeah. Andy was asking one question. So can we add some of the part in favorites?
yeah, so I hope my screen is visible. So this is about Ariba dashboard. So if you want to navigate it to supplier management, you can navigate to supplier management module. So you will get one more dashboard for supplier management. You can search your supplier, you can see your activities and how many suppliers you have onboarded. And this is guided sourcing dashboard for you. So this dashboard, you will be able to see guided sourcing relevant data. So what is the sourcing project you have created? So you will be able to see guided sourcing dashboard. And if you want to see contract management, you can go for the contract management. Okay. And after that, um, create function, create supplier request, create sourcing request, create sourcing project, create contract request, create contract workspace. These six most used operation in the upstream. Additionally, create supplier performance management, and then create I mean there is modular questionnaire, that is for manage modular questionnaire. We will use it. Okay, so that is we test it how user work, because we are the one who develops. So here, how we define any process. If it is supplier management, let's consider now first supplier management. If I talk about supplier management, SLP, first thing, let's say how we implement it. Customer is purchasing Ariba. Okay, so they wanted to use Ariba SLP. Now what happens? Take it one small example. You're purchasing mobile. Okay, so when you open the box, so you will get, when you switch on the mobile, you'll not get blank page. Okay, you just need to give some pre-configuration and give your login in the Play Store or iOS. So you will get some default home page and default contacts, emergency contacts, and then you will get messages. So every applications, some recent, frequent used applications, you will get it by default. So later by using, or in the first day, you configure whatever you wanted. The same way, when you purchase the Ariba product, Ariba will give you default data, default master data, okay, plus default features, okay, and then default template. So this default template means standard template. So in here, the default master data, what are the master data they provide? They provide standard region and then standard department. If you want, you can enable it, and then standard commodity, okay, and then you don't need to uh, create new country and create postal code address and all. So you will get it those activity data also. So this region, department, commodity. So why I'm referring this commodity means, whatever you wanted in your real life also, any procurement activity, there is maybe goods or services. That is, commodity means products or services, okay. So these products and services are combined with some numbering system, standard coding system, okay. So that is something Ariba is using, that is UNSPC format, global standard format, that is UN, United Nations standard product services code, okay. It will have a 8 digit numeric value and some 4 level of hierarchy, okay. So they are maintaining UNSPC standard commodity data, okay. And region also, I think 3 digit alphanumeric or only alpha, they're using standard region. This is the important first master data: region, department, commodity. And also they're having um, syntax file format, okay. For example, uh, if you want to create some supplier request, let's say for example, if I wanted to create supplier request, okay, which country I'm choosing, whatever country I'm choosing, if I choose country here, India, if I choose country here, I'm getting status mandate. If I choose country here, United Kingdom. So based on the country, the data, whatever mandate, you will get it. For example, if I choose China, so you will get the standard data based on the, you see, Beijing, Shanxi, China country data. If I choose India, I'll get it Indian specific data. And the postal code format, city format, the data, whatever you wanted to enter, you will get it standard data. Okay. And if I choose some commodity, so this is, for example, here, if I choose some commodity, IT services, let me search with the name of service. Okay. So all commodity, mining and oil and gas service, and 71000000 is the 8 digit numeric code. And after that, uh, this is the hierarchy. This commodity is standard commodity, okay, but you can customize it. You can create custom commodity. The same way, department also you can customize it. Region also you can customize it. These three are the important data, and address is also important data. The address format and tax format, bank format, everything. Region, country specific, syntax data file, the flex master data. Okay. If you choose country India, they know PAN card is mandate, and then GST document is mandate. And under GST, you will get whether you wanted to go for exemption, MSME is valid or not. So these all predefined. These all worked and provided when you purchase the Ariba license. Okay, that is something you will get default master data plus master data format of address, bank, tax. Okay, um, this is first thing. And default features. So that create supplier request. So when you create supplier request, then these questions you need to add, but that create supplier request option and supplier registration. So those features, the default features where you get it, that is parameters. We call the word parameters. So here we have two types of parameters. One is, SAP controlled parameter. That means I'm giving a product for you. Okay, you can use my product. That means you cannot completely taken care of my product. Some features will be controlled. If you need to seek my help. That is SAP control parameter. And another one is self-service parameter. Okay, self-service parameter means consultant, your account administrator uh, can enable or disable the parameter. So every parameter you will get default by default yes. You can change it to no. So yes to no, no to yes. Like that you can change. So that parameter will control the business process. I'll give you quick example in my project. One second. Yeah. So this is my project development data for downstream. Okay. Now let me open, let me search with the parameters. Okay. These are all the parameters and features. For example, email approval enabled. So approver need to, so they will be able to approve the requisition by email. That is one function. So that is by default it is false. That feature is not available. But if I change that no to yes, then I will be able to, um, I need to just enable this parameter. Okay. So what I need to do, the same area in ICM, in this intelligent configuration manager, we have in the very beginning we have seen different database. So you need to go to, this is only for upstream. You need to go to child site, manage. First go to child site and then core admin. Okay, these are all the basic thing you should know before we develop or we understand the functions and process. So here, that is why I'm taking this. We will discuss this again when we uh, start going module by module. So here, if I go to core admin and then it is ICM, manage configurations and continue. So here, buying and invoicing, this is for BNI and this is for sourcing and contract. So this is sourcing and contract relevant parameter and this is for buying and invoicing relevant parameter. And what about supplier management? You will get it in SM administration. If you go to manage SM admin, so it will be automatically rerouted to upstream. So here you will get it configuration parameters. So these configuration parameters, you will get it the current value, default value. Okay, so you can change it from false to true to false like that. So based on the need, we enable. So if you're enabling one parameter, this one parameter will have one application, one process uses. So now here I'll go to buying and invoicing parameters. So as I said, two type of parameter, SAP controlled. You can't do anything using SAP controlled. So here, if you search that parameter, email enable approval. Current value, yes. New value, yes. So if you enable this, then this function will work. So users or approvers will get a email to approve the task through email. So like that we have so many parameters. So depends on the application. We have 100, 200 plus parameters. So you don't need to remember those 100, 200 parameters. But whatever I am giving in the projects, you can use it. Why this also I am giving? Not to, like, in real time when you get an opportunity, you will work. But in the interview, the questions nowadays they're asking, if you say some function, what you worked in ICM, that is a question. What is ICM? You will be able to say intelligent configuration manager, where we can maintain the parameters for sourcing and for buying and invoicing. Okay, what type of parameter you worked? Some small question. In downstream, what type of parameter you worked? Okay, you can give some example from this data. So you easily understand. For example, if a customer wanted to enable email approval through email, then we need to enable one parameter. So I have done that. So one or two. Okay, that is the reason. So this is my project document. You will get it this document. So Iraj sir or Sana, they will provide you these documents. Okay, what type of customizations you made? Okay, these customizations, field customizations, we are not authorized to do field customization, but SAP, we closely work with SAP to do the customization. Okay, for downstream, what type of field customizations you have done? If you go to this field, this workbook, this entire workbook is the Bible of downstream. Okay, if you read this, if you go through this, you will be able to understand end to end. Okay, entire downstream. So here you see field reference. So in this field reference, one these fields are common. If I take this field, these fields are always common. Okay, so when this field should be visible. So one four operations we always perform. This is the operation. We gather this requirement and we will provide it to SAP. Okay, whether that field you want to make visible this field, or um, so whether you wanted to make visible or editable, and how data should be entered and how data should be defaulted, whether do you need to validate that field and how to validate. So this 160 150 plus field, if you understand this 150 plus field, that field will be continued entire downstream flow, PR, PO, GR, invoice, invoice reconciliation. The field will be traveling the same field, whether visible or not visible. So requisition, so after requisition, purchase order, after purchase order, invoice, after invoice, invoice reconciliation. So only one field. Why we are considering like that? So that it is easy to compare three-way match, two-way match, line item variance, quantity variance, amount variance. So the field will travel till the payment. So this is something field customization. So either it is hidden, so purchasing group to be defaulted based on the commodity code. So how data is being defaulted. So this is something in a downstream. We'll see this. I don't want to go too in depth about it. So now let me come. So the default features you will get it. So default master data and then default features. And after that, default template. Okay, so coming to template, what is template? Okay, so you need to understand the basics of template. And most of the people, so from my experience, everyone thinks template is the only one in Ariba. Okay, so that is old trend, completely old trend. 3 years, 4 years before. Okay, that is why if you go and search in a open source, you will get lot of data in template. Even panel, even I am taking interview to the projects. I know everyone read this template. Everyone know this template. Nobody will not ask this. Template is one part in the Ariba. Okay, nowadays questions are mostly scenario based. And how did you understand the project landscape? Okay, what is your contribution? What challenges you faced? So those things are the questions. So how do you create template, and how do you enter the content? What is field mapping? What type of task? These are all not the questions nowadays in the present trend. What is your system landscape? How data are flowing from Ariba to ERP and Ariba to supplier network? Where did you or where do you troubleshoot? How did you troubleshoot it? What challenges you faced? What type of customization your customer asked? What type of customization you have done in your implementation project? How did you managed to do the initial system setup by coordinating with um, other team members? Okay, these are type of questions nowadays in the market. So forget about template is, if you concentrate 2 to 3 hours, maximum 4 hours, you will be able to understand the template. So for that, I have the best document from my point of view. So I worked in this field from past 14 years. So I have prepared one of the best document. To prepare this document, every training session, mostly I have used, mostly to be very honest, more than 100 plus hours. So I rephrased this, I rephrased this, I rephrased this. Finally, I made it this 200 pages, 150 pages. Then one day I decided to remove all the screenshots, and I'll keep without screenshots. Without screenshot, I have given, I prepared this template management for a upstream, step by step. Finally, after giving so much input, so I have defined this end-to-end template data, where you can start from scratch, where to start. Okay, those things I have defined here. So please do not always think template. And my one more request, if you have any doubts or any questions, try to explore from the standard source. When you Google it, you will get so many things. For example, I have some issues on the template. Okay, let's say simple question: how to create SLP, supplier request template Ariba. Some small question. You will get so many data. Gemini will provide something. That is one thing. Okay, and on the other hand, you always try to explore SAP source, because every quarter they keep on change things. Okay, if you go and see 2020 data, that is something you will not, you don't know, like old, that is something very old nowadays, because last 3 years they made so many changes. Okay, if you follow open source, you will definitely get old data that you will not able to know things. So for example, if I open, this is help document. This document will have 850 plus pages. If I open this document, this is the standard setup guide. This is one set of document, which is help.sap.com, where you will get standard set of guide, and it will take you months to read full document only for supplier management, which is 852 pages. The latest version, August 2025, the document version. So 1 year before, the total page is 720. So within 1 year, they have added 130 pages data. 130 pages is not small count. It is 850. Okay, you don't know what to read, when to read, what not to read. These things I'll help you how to do these things. Okay, how do you work alone in the projects? This is one help document where you can refer some data in the project, and other than that, support document and guided answers. I showed you right in as user credentials. So how to explore things, we will see that. Okay, these open sources, it will never help you, to be honest. Community blog, you can see community blog, but again, it will be old data. You can refer the community, which is SAP community, but we always need to check when they have posted. That post also what they do, even they can check help document, right? But people who's working, they post their queries. We're planning to use SLP onboarding process for creating employees as vendors. So how can we do that? This is their question. Can someone help? They will ask. Somebody will try to provide, the experts will try to provide the answers. Whether they came across, they will provide. Otherwise, there will be no response. They'll provide some parameters features. So this application.sm.auto start registration. This is very small parameter where we can auto start. Okay, you copy this parameter and if you search it in my template, you will get it. Okay, why it is needed? The purpose. So if you enable this parameter, so it can be enabled or disabled in ICM. If this value is S, then buyer will not get option to process internal registration. Some small example. So end-to-end template for upstream, supplier management, sourcing, contract. So upstream business process and what is template from the scratch, you will get it in this file. And this file is loaded and IRAD sir provide will the access. Now we need to start from here. Before we start here, um, we just need to understand the site and the master data and the features and then template, then integration. Okay, I'm onboarding the supplier. So why you're onboarding the supplier? In the demo I have mentioned that why, what, where, when, how and all. You need to understand why. So why you need to integrate? If you integrate the supplier, then only the accounting data and the payment data, because we are going to process payment in ERP. So the one source, that is ERP, the data will be integrated and stored in ERP. That integrated data will be replicated into buying system. Okay. So for that, we had separate interface element, create supplier in Ariba, integrate it to ERP, then replicate it to buying. That is one separate flow. We will see that. So here in this integration, what are all the prerequisite we do? So what is first integration in one line? Communication or communication of two systems. That's all. A to B, B to A. So it may be Ariba upstream to Ariba downstream, or Ariba upstream to downstream, or Ariba to ERP, upstream to ERP, ERP to upstream, whatever it may be, vice versa. Okay, this is something integration. You use this term integration, and you can use this same synchronization, sync. or you can use the same term called interface. So integration, synchronization, interface, almost same meaning. Communication of two systems, transferring the data from one system to other system. So it may be master data transfer, or it may be transactional data transfer, or it may be user data transfer, any transfer. Which method you are integrating, what middleware you're using. Okay. Um, for example, let's take the supplier management integration. How the data will be integrated. Let me show this. This is the small integration process flow. This one I am not developing. I got it from SAP source because I worked in the project, so I got it from the source. So, for example, supplier lifecycle performance management integration. So, two types. So, supplier registration, buyer will create supplier request and buyer will invite the supplier. Category manager will review and approve. And once supplier is approved, the business partner will be created in S4 system. This is S4, this is Ariba, this is network. You can see in the corner. So here you can use BTP or CAG. So once it is integrated, then the supplier data will be updated. This is supplier registration. And if future, if supplier updates any changes in their network side, so buyer will review, it will be updated in S4. Or in future, buyer wanted to extend business, so they want to extend the company code, maybe in SLP. That is second option. And third one, if buyer updates supplier data in S4 system, they do company code extension. So this is one flow integrated with S4 HANA, Ariba, and network. The same flow defined here in the best practice flow. This is the best practice. So this best practice flow with this integration flow and the template content, create supplier request, what data you wanted to enter, who will maintain that data, what is the approval flow. Okay. So by combining these things, master data, default data, template, and integration, after that administration, how do you administer the data. So here we are using SM administration. So in this SM administration, you maintain some data, some configurations. So you need to compile it up. Then one module will be developed, can be used. Okay. So out of these 4 5 data, if you take only template, which is something not even half information. Okay. Um. So till now, anybody have any questions to ask? Yes.
Manoj, one question. So,
Yes.
like sometime back, you mentioned, I mean, there are different databases, right? So,
Yes.
for instance, if we onboarded a supplier using SLP, right? Now,
Mm-hmm.
if we want to use that into contracts,
Okay.
so how, I mean, does it work like SLP to ERP, then ERP to contract management, or how is it?
Yes. Yes. Contract management. So contract is something special module in Ariba where they will
Uh-huh,
have contract complaints and contract line item.
uh-huh,
Okay. So
uh-huh.
contract line item is something integrating pricing data from sourcing module to contract. That is one feature.
Okay.
And another one is
Uh-huh.
contract complaints. Contract complaints is integrating the pricing data from contract management to buying and invoicing. So if you are going to create contract complaints, then accounting data is required. Since supplier should be integrated to downstream. Contract complaints we consider as a bridge between upstream and downstream. Sourcing and procurement. So we need data from ERP, not common supplier data. It won't help. We need accounting data, which bill to, which ship to is needed.
Okay, so that is from your upstream to downstream, right? Contract management is upstream and buying invoicing is downstream. But in
Yes.
case like SLB and contract both are upstream, correct? So in this case also the databases are different.
Same, but that's why we have two type of data. Okay,
Uh-huh,
database is different, but data we have two type, especially for supplier management. So
uh-huh.
common data, partition data. We use the term common supplier and partition supplier. Okay, common supplier where we use it for upstream. You can create contract workspace. So when I wanted to create contract workspace, I will be able to create contract workspace, but I will not be able to create contract term. So what, for example, let me show you here. If I wanted to
Mhm.
create contract workspace, I can create. Okay, so here I
Okay,
will
with the
mention,
common supplier.
yes. So here contract workspace is upstream. So here I'm
Uh-huh.
entering some data and then contract hierarchy. I'm choosing standalone, and then when I'm going to use, I'll use it and I'll keep today date. I'll just quickly show this flow. Okay, then contract amount and which commodity I wanted to, and which region I wanted to, mm, and after that, okay, which department I wanted to use, and after that, so there will be some project which already I have created template, so I need to choose the template. Okay, so here I'll remove the
Mhm.
region. PAQ done. So this is my template which I have created, contract workspace July. Okay, so for example, if I use that template and then create, so what happens? The contract workspace will get created. So here I have created the contract workspace. So here that supplier which I wanted to add is upstream supplier. If I edit the attribute, if I want to add the supplier, the parties, if I want to add some supplier, this is upstream supplier. But if I wanted to create a contract term in the document, so here I have a contract term. If I go to contract term, so here I need to go for the downstream. This is child site. This supplier should be available in downstream, then only I will be able to publish this contract term. If I choose this,
Okay.
so now I have some 7 steps to perform. Here, which purchasing unit, which purchase org, company code, and then if I go to pricing terms, I will add which bill to ship to, everything is needed.
Mhm.
Okay, it will be routed to downstream. I created contract workspace in upstream. Now you can see it is navigated to downstream.
Mhm.
That means contract module, creating contract workspace is upstream activity. Creating contract term is downstream. This CR is contract compliance. This CW is contract workspace. You got it right? So I started
Yes,
creating
yes, yes.
contract workspace. So contract workspace upstream, under document contract term is downstream. That's why we always say contract compliance is a bridge between, it act as a bridge between upstream and downstream. I hope it is
Right.
clear.
And this last question, last question, like you
Why?
had a supplier which was present in downstream as well.
Sorry, your voice is
So
breaking.
like in ERP, okay, is it proper now?
Yes.
Okay? So like in ERP we have the supplier ID, right, which acts as the identifier. correct? In case of upstream and downstream, I mean, how will understand, right, that this is the supplier? For instance, now I could see that the name of the supplier is same in both. So is the
Mhm.
name acting as an identifier?
No, no, no. Name is because we have so many name. So
Correct.
identifier will be ACM ID, Ariba
Okay.
Contract Management ID. We have ACM ID. So for example,
Okay.
we have standard ACM ID. Standard IDs which act as an identifier. One is we mostly use ACM ID and SMID. I'll show quickly in my project
Mhm.
data. So we
Okay.
integrate that ACM ID into S4 system. There is one tab we call them identification tab. Okay, so let me open. Yes. So I have some project data screenshots, whatever I have tested. Let me show quickly. Okay. Yes. You see this identification. So you can you cannot compare only by name. Okay. So we that is the reason we integrate this ACM ID as an identifier. ACM ID is an identifier. SM ID is also identifier. If needed, you can integrate AN ID also as an identifier. But we mostly not to use ANID because suppliers might not be integrated, but we wanted to sync data into S4. So that time we use ACM ID as only ACM ID as identifier. Okay, these datas, whatever created, these datas are created this year only. So all new datas. I mean, in my previous project. Okay, so
Okay.
this
Okay.
ACM ID will be integrated to buying system, and after that, the same ACM ID will be stored in one table. There is one standard table which we use SysID table. We call them SysID map table, Ariba SysID map. So from this SysID map table, data will be pulled upon, data will be called. There is a standard program, master data export, where moved the master data to downstream. So I have those configuration that is quite next level, the CRP integration setup, all the things. Let's understand the process, then we can go these things. So I'm just showing this
Sure. Sure.
to clarify your doubt. Okay. Um, I hope it is clear.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks. Thanks so much. That's very clear.
Yeah. And now I hope everybody got to know. So this is the way we need to explore and work. So today we have not started any flow. I've just given the basics, overview, roadmap. So in summary, um, we just have looked upon what to learn, not only to concentrate on template. Uh, so you need to concentrate end to end. Especially, do not rely on the open source. So be practical. So from my side, whatever um, the candidates feedback, what I got to know, within 5 minutes they got thrown from the interview. Within 5 minutes, that's all. So they will be scheduled for 30 minutes, but within 5 minutes they'll catch up and they will send you. So you need to have a right knowledge with right guidance, with right data, so that you will be able to present what you have learned, and you need to make as a project whatever we are learning here. You need to make as a project that you worked. Okay, so I'll give those guidance in step by step. Let us see. And now I'll be back. So let's give some overview about template. Let me close this. So in templates, so what is template? So this template, meaning of template in standard term. So we use this template word, that one word. Okay, in your mobile you can use that message template, and in your Gmail you will use this template word, okay, using the existing template. So template means whatever you are going to use frequently, you keep it as a standard data. The definition remains same here, but in Ariba, what template in upstream, that means it will have a set of process with the document. The document will be event document, contract document, survey document, forms, contents, questions, anything. That set of document, you define a workflow. So that workflow means you are giving task to someone. So we have 6 types of task: to do, notification, review, approval, negotiation, and signature. So signature is not a standard task, that is add-on product. So if customer wanted to buy signature, DocuSign or Adobe, then they can go for the signature task. Okay, so these 6 type of tasks with the document you define. So that means template which is having set of business process with specific team members and sequential phases and workflow, which is planned approval process. So it will be defined, predefined. Okay, where we use only in upstream business process, we manage the template. So what are all the upstream business process? These are all the business process: supplier management, sourcing, and then sourcing we have strategic sourcing and tactical sourcing. For that, classic and guided, and then contract management, contract request, contract workspace. We have 3 types of contract. We mostly use procurement. And after that, so those business process are handled in upstream. So here, who can manage that? So it is a tool that used to create projects. These are all the projects. So template creator or custom administrator are the one who is authorized to create and manage the templates. And here you will have a system document. Under documents, you will have a system templates. So system will show what that is predefined. That is something called generic realm. When you purchase the Ariba, you will get the generic realm where you will get the standard template. So in my real system, I'll go here, manage templates, and here this is template page. So the menu path, I'll come and go back again. So log into Ariba, go to manage. So navigate it to parent site, go to manage templates. When you work on templates, you will get the dashboard. This is template page. You got overview, document, team, and history. If you go to documents, you will get document data. I mean template data. So here you will get standard template. First thing, standard template. How did you identify? It will show you the owner as Ariba system or customer support admin. These are all the standard template. And if it is created by some user, the owner, that will be custom template. Okay. So you will be able to see list of templates. If you want to add them into quick link, you can add them into quick link. Add to quick link, it will be added into quick link. If you want to remove from quick link, you can remove from quick link. And after that, within the template, if I open one template, supplier request, let me open template. What are all the components available in the template? That we will see. Prior to that, one more thing, under documents, you will be able to see the template. And here you have option to create a template, upload a document, reference document, something, import a template, download the document. So search, import, upload, create, download. So these are all the functions. You will get it in the document page. So why I'm highlighting this? You import template from test system to prod system. You export template here. Which template you wanted, you can open the template and you can export the template. Once you exported it, you will be able to import in the prod system. So we mostly use that operation to move the templates from test to prod. On the other hand, SAP also will do in the backend if you request. It is purely project by project, it may vary. And after that, um, so we have seen what is custom template, what is standard template, and how do we get the requirement from client. There will be project by project, the requirement gathering will be done during workshop, and SAP will provide some standard workbook, and you can use Jira. So Jira is the best one that I worked from past 3-4 years in the projects. Okay, or ServiceNow, or you can use your solution manager, Solman documents, SAP solution manager, or your client solution manager, whatever it may be, to organize the data and gather the requirement. Um, Now I'll show you the my recent requirement gathering workbook. Local disk D, September. Okay, upstream requirement gathering workbook. Yeah. So what is the requirement? How do you get it? So this is the requirement gathering workbook. So here user stories. So this is based on the Jira. So this is Jira task. So based on the Jira task, what user needed, they will raise in the user story. Okay. So let's say for example, there is one user story as a procurement manager. I want standard terms and conditions to display for my RFX by default, including mandatory acceptance by supplier intending to bid. That means they wanted to have a bidder agreement. Okay, so that I don't have to do manually document to provide or track acceptance. So how do you do that? This is some small requirement. So for that, what you have to do, you need to go to manage. First, you need to include the bidder agreement. So where do you store the bidder agreement? You go to manage, admin, under customization manager, branding settings. In this branding settings, you will have a bidder agreement. This is the bidder agreement. So you maintain the bidder agreement in the customization. So as soon as you maintain this bidder agreement, then you will be able to include bidder agreement in the template level. So if I go to any template, global Ariba integration, okay, these are all active. Let me take some draft. So it is in development. So let me open some template. So sourcing project. So there are two types of views in the template. So this view is something compact view. So compact view looks something jumbled. So I always recommend in the beginning stage, if you want to learn, you change it the view. That is full view. You need to do it. Okay. So let me show that full view. But in this quick project, I'm not getting that full view. But full project, you will be able to change the view from compact to, that means display view. So here, if I wanted to open the template, edit, okay, view project, let me open. So including the bidder agreement, you will have in the rule, in the event rule, you will get the bidder agreement. So where do you get this? Would you like to include the bidder agreement as a prerequisite? Yes. So where do you include this? So where do you manage this bidder agreement? It will be in the customization manager, and it will be included in the template level. So whenever you are creating template, it will be. So we'll see that in step by step. That is one example that I am giving the requirement. So how do we gather the requirement? So they will provide when things happen, what should happen, so what is given. So they'll give you the requirement like this. As a procurement manager, I wanted to uh, create a sourcing project which includes direct negotiation template and workflow, so that they will get a. So I wanted to add one document for the direct negotiation. So you will get this requirement and you will get enough time to develop, not in one day you have to do. So for example, in my project, to develop one India project template, we have taken 30 days. So 30 men days, we call them 30 men days or 30 working days to develop. So we do slowly based on the best. So we have to develop and test and give it to the customers, testing or customers concern if they have anything. So we do that. And here, template type, we have many types of template which we have seen, but some fact you need to remember and you need to always know: supplier request project template, supplier registration project template, or the standard template. Okay, so the template cannot be created newly, it neither it cannot be deleted. Okay, that is standard, global standard template, we call them global standard template. So you need to use the same template. If you want to upgrade something, you can upgrade it. Okay, so you wanted to upgrade, you wanted to create new version or develop something, you use the same template. So versions can be created. So for example, let me open my template. If I wanted to create new version, I can create new version, and then I can update that template. I can add some task or I can add some content, and I can republish it. But I will not get option to create new supplier request template. If I create new template, I will never get it. Not only here, in the practice system also, you will not get it. So create supplier request, create supplier registration, or copy supplier request, or delete supplier request, you will not get it. Okay. I mean only two project template or global standard templates. So I have highlighted here. And after that, so how do we export the template we have seen, and what are all the template status? These are all general common thing which we need to understand. So the template, if I want to edit, it will be draft status. If I want to edit, it will be draft status. So something I have edited, but I do not wish to keep that. I wanted to change back to as is. Then what I can do? I can revert. If I revert, it will become active. So I have not made any changes. I made it as is. So if I want to add some content and if I want to publish, then I need to create new version and then active. So draft status, during draft status can be edited the template. So when you want to, so when the status become draft, when you create new version, and active means you cannot be edited the template. Okay, and inactive means if templates are inactive, then you need to activate the template first, then you have to create a new version. So which version will be visible in the front end? So here I always use one word: front end, back end. So from template side, the template view, I used to call them backend, and user view, that is front end. So here version 90. Okay, now if I create new version, that will be 91 version. But until or unless I publish that 91st version, the front end view, the last active will be available. So that is what I highlighted here. If version 1 is active, version 2 is in draft status, which version is visible in the business process? The last active version. I mean version 1 will be visible in the business process. Okay. So we are describe we are required to describe the best practice business flow. Okay, where you get it. There are many areas you get it by your experience, by your previous project data. Okay, but I always refer Signaview and help document where you get it the default best practice content and some knowledge base article, but it won't help. But Signaview and help document, the guides will help you. And then, so how do you define? You need to understand the best practice flow, and also you need to understand the client existing business process, the legacy flow. Okay, why I'm calling legacy process? What you are going to do? You are going to uh, design the procurement process or sourcing process based on the client. So what client will do? Client will not come up with the research. They will tell, I use this process in Coupa like this. I want at least the same as Coupa what I followed. Or it would be great if you could automate something or bring some more features which enhance the process, that would be okay. So either you have to do as is, that is as per my previous process, or you make you find some, if there is a gap you try to fit it with some customization or some additional enhancement. So only two type of process. One is you can fit the standard process, that is fit to standard, if client is okay to streamline their sourcing or procurement process with Ariba standard best practice. But they have some customization which is required. Then you have to do the fit gap analysis and fill the gap, provide the gap resolution. Then you can give a standard plus customization. Mm, so we refer this, just now I have shown and Signaview and SAP for me. So after that, test site. So if you are working in the, mostly if you are working as a, if you are going to work as a implementation project or implementation consultant, um, so you, your 80% job will be in test site. Okay, so you have to play around in test site, design, develop, build, test, retest, test, retest, these activities will, okay. And then if you wanted to, like if you want to work on the AMS support project, that time they always work on production site. They always act as, I have some issues, I'm not able to view this feature or function, so they will act as, they will go to that user, they will act as, so they will see the problems in user point of view. Suppose for example I have some issues, so I need to log into production system. So one user raised some issues. So what I do, I'll go to manage admin and I'll go to the user manager. If I go user manager, I will see their problem from his point of view, so that I'll be able to give resolution. So I'll search the username. If I search the username, I'll get the user. So I will act as. When I act as, so I'm not viewing the issue from my point of view. Consultant will have all the access. So now I'm acting as a one end user. I will be able to see what is their issue. Accordingly, I will give a resolution. These things will happen in the production system, live system. That is support, live support that you are giving. So who will give? AMS team. So AMS means application management system or application maintenance system. Okay, support consultant. But implementation consultant, they always design, develop, test, and last 20%. I mean, last 3 months or 2 months only they will work on the production environment. That too, why? Moving all the developments from test to prod, and then giving hypercare support. Okay, from technical go live, and after that cut over time period, and after that business go live, and then from business go live to the end of hypercare support, handing or handover to the support team. So we have nearly 10 to 11 step, the design, build, development. So those type of flow. So which I have documented. So it will be shared with you. You can go through this. Okay. You will get it some fair idea how a product or process being implemented. So system setup, designing the business process, and taking a walkthrough, conducting workshop, and design phase, and then development phase, and testing, types of testing, and then training. So train the trainer. So we will give trainers up to 4 users or 5 users. We train them, and then user acceptance testing, then technical go live, and then cutover activity, business go live, hypercare or protection supports. Finally, support team what they do. Okay, so module by module we will see this. So tomorrow we start the template basics. Why I am starting from the template basics? So that if I create supplier request, where the data is coming, why we need to approve, so those things you will be able to understand. So how I work, I show the template in the back end and I test in the front end. So you have to practice same as like that. Mm. Any questions, guys? Anybody have any questions? So here, whatever I am giving my input, you have to practice on your own, come up with some questions or queries, then only you will get familiarized. And hands-on is very important. Otherwise you will feel that you heard somewhere. Okay, if until or unless you practice. So use the datas and practice. Let's see. Any questions, doubts you wanted to ask? Yeah, Sham. Hi, Sham.
Yeah, practice in the sense will be shared with any kind of test environment to practice this, or
Yes, yes, for sure, Sham. We'll be providing the test access. Like we'll be providing the proper server access to everyone with the three URLs which we have discussed in the sessions, today's session actually. So for sure, the practice system will be there with you for 24/7 for 2 months. And in the same system, most of the things in the same system only, which Manoj sir is shown in the session, definitely that particular system will be there with you. So whichever is been shown in the session, you can do the same practice, and also you can create your own scenarios, and we'll be helping you out on that part as well.
okay, okay, got it. So, and one more thing, so this Ariba will be integrating with the two other tools, right? The ERP and I mean, uh,
Yes.
so how does it work? Like, if you are doing the test sessions on like,
So here in Professor's RSA, we don't have ERP, and even I tried by purchasing Professor's ERP. So whatever I am configuring tonight, tomorrow it will be wiped off. So we will not be able to test in our test system. I'll show in my real system how the data is being integrated. So here, for example, in this my system, so the sourcing projects are being integrated to S4 system. So what are all the prerequisites, how it is being integrated. So after 2 3 sessions, I will start showing in my client system.
In short, I can say, like you see, uh, entire Ariba is totally upstream, like whichever the 6 modules we have shown you just now. So integration is just the 10 to 15% aspect of it, in which ECC is being used, and whenever sorry S4HANA is being used. So whenever we are talking about integration, complete entire integration scenarios, so it's not alone the Ariba consultant job. So there are different consultants are going to be involved. Okay, there are 2 to 3 different consultants. Like there should be a basis person, there should be a S4 HANA sourcing and procurement or S4 HANA consultant. So it's a collaborative work. So whichever the work you are going to do as an Ariba consultant, you really going to be get complete hands-on on that one, and plus to it. Other things definitely is going to be shown in the session itself, but you may not be doing the practice hands-on on those areas. Okay, but you'll be
Oh,
having a well documented uh, note for that one. We are having a proper documentation for that one with proper screenshots, except the integration aspect of, how the data is flowing. You can't see that particular aspect, only just 5% of it due to the system's unavailability, and we can't give you the client system and to do the practice on that one. Most of it is going to be on the production side, so that's not possible practically. Okay,
okay, got that. Thanks.
but you'll get a very deep simulation like how it works, and that is only 5% of deep simulation you are going to get. Rest all you'll be going to be work on hands-on, because even CIG is also there in our professor system. Yeah.
Okay.
So is there anyone any question, any more questions, guys? I know it's going to be very much information loaded one, so it takes some time for every one of us to process it. Consider tomorrow we are going to start actual session. Today is an overview. Most of the session covers the complete overview of the things and everything, so don't take it is going in an haphazard way, like we are going here, we are going there. Don't think in that way. Okay, so that's an overview of these are this thing is very much necessary to create the seriousness of the things. Okay, because Ariba is a very easy tool to learn, provided you are learning it in a very systematic and deeper way. Okay, it's not like it's just an cloud tool you can learn very easily. It's not going to be. There's a lot of information, lot of things you need to remember, and lot of processes you need to understand in a much better way. So we need to have a proper seriousness to learn it, and we have to be committed every day how much time we are going to spend on that one. During the session, it looks very easy and very nice, as Tamil sir, sorry, as Manoj sir already told. While you are learning, while you are going through the sessions, it looks good. And later on, if you are recalling, you just think like, oh, somewhere I have listened it. But where, how you are going to recall it, but that particular time, it will come only with the good practice. So you'll be having the systems, you'll be having all the recordings, you'll be having a lot of documentation. Every day, if you are spending 2 hours, because whole week we are having the time to practice. So those who are doing good practice, and we'll be there. Okay, I am reachable to you guys. If you are having any issues, you can just call. I'm just call away to you. So take this one as a advantage, and our team is very much committed to help you out in during the weekdays also. So request every one of you to spend good time. Then only you'll get the clarity of it. Hope tomorrow's session is going to be very good, and I request everyone to be there in the tomorrow session also. If you have any queries, please ask me. You can ask us. Otherwise, we can conclude the session for the day.
I think Ratnavel raised. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
Ratna.
sorry to
Yeah,
interrupting. Yes,
Ratnagar.
I have a basic question, very very basic question. Maybe wrong. See, in when we do in ERP, no, so this is, the Ariba is part of only vendor management contract. Is it not relating to purchase orders?
No, your voice is too low, Ratnavel.
One, am I right? Is it
Can hear
fine?
you. We are unable to hear. Would you please be louder and clear?
Is it? Am I audible now?
Yes,
Am I
much better.
audible? Okay,
Yes.
okay. Okay, I think it's just a basic question. Is about is it Ariba is about vendor management, like in ERP. It's a small part of vendor management or vendor contract and let's say vendor is called a supplier. Is it
Um,
till triggering purchase order is this model is about according to Anna?
no, again, your voice is breaking, but I'm not sure what you're trying to ask, but probably you're asking Ariba is same as MM. Am I right?
Not same as M, part of M, like a triggering till
Not
purchase order.
part of,
Right.
not part of MM. MM is different module. If it is part of MM, MM is on premise. Ariba is cloud. Okay. So S4 HANA MM will be core help for direct material procurement, MRP, production planning, plant management, quality management, and integrated with SD. So that is part. That is the procurement tool, which is powerful procurement tool created 2 decades. That is SAP side. And Ariba is a cloud where customer can organize their indirect procurement activities. So indirect procurement, we don't have materials, we don't have MRP, we don't have production planning, or we don't have a plant management. Indirect procurement, which is associating the direct material. So software services, facility procurement, and uh, advertising agencies, brand management, marketing, and contractor staffing, anything, stationaries. These are all indirect procurement, human resource. So these procurements need to be managed. For that, Ariba helps. So customers are interested to manage and streamline their indirect procurement. So process almost remains same, but menu path, supply chain, both are supply chain process. Okay, procurement same supply chain process, but the tool, the system what we are using, the term what we are using, quite different.
Not related to the direct material going into the production to
Yes, this is
manufacture the material.
completely, yeah, this is completely indirect procurement. So in
Like
S4 you use material group. In Ariba we use commodity, UNSPC commodity code. So there are difference. So
like
S4,
office supplies.
yes, in S4 you use T code, but in Ariba we use menu path, navigations. So S4, any customization you work with ABAPer, you implement S Note. But in Ariba, we enable parameters, we work with SAP, we cannot do any customization. And S4, you closely work with MM guys will work with FI, FI integration, MMCO integration, MMSD integration, or any internal integration. Basis administrator, ABAPers will help you. But here, you are the administrator, you are the developer, you are the one who test. So all the process you have to work. So there is no separate area like, but kind of but not end to end.
Thank you. Thank you, Manoj.
Yeah, I hope you got it, Naratnavil. This is what I think.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you
Okay,
so much.
welcome, Ratnavil. I think Shohali, you tried to talk something. You wanted to ask something.
Uh, yes, like you mentioned about indirect procurement, right? But now we also talk about contracts. So these contracts will be imported to ERP for direct materials, right?
It depends. It completely depends. But contract is not we are
Mhm.
going to only sign for direct procurement. Suppose one service
Okay,
sector, Ford Motors is there. So for Ford, software services or procurement services are providing by TCS. So there will be a contract between Ford and TCS.
all
So
right.
that is IT services. So that is the
Correct.
indirect procurement spend. That contract will be managed, whatever they're using. So
Okay. But the direct ones also can be created, right?
it depends, but direct procurement, the percentage is very less. It can be, but the percentage is very less because direct procurement they need that scheduling agreement. There is some, I think, source PAR. I don't exactly sure because I'm not expert. So they will have is the best one. So customers choosing Ariba for direct procurement is very rare, except product sourcing.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay, got it. Thank you.
Welcome, Shohali. So today is completely overview, and we have opened many tabs, many pages, how to explore many files, folders. Okay. So tomorrow I'll come up with some plan. So we start module by module, and step by step we'll go. Let's see.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Really appreciate. And thank you, everyone. I really appreciate of your time and patience to sit with us. I really appreciate. And if any queries, anything, if you are still having in your mind, you can connect to me morning 8 a.m. till night 10 a.m. IST. Okay. So I'll be there to help you out.